Hi, Nicole. Let's have a look and see what you've done here. This is from 2016. Okay, so um, first one there. A and B and C are towns. The town B lies on the road from A to C as shown. The distance from A to C is 42 kilometers. Aideen drives from A to C and then back to A. She completes this journey 4 times each week. Okay, a lot of information there. It can be a bit tricky when you're reading that, but let's just see what the question is. What distance does Aideen travel in 1 week? So let's see. Aideen drives from A to C and then back to A. So that's 42 kilometers from A to C and then 42 kilometers back. So she goes from A to C, and that's 42 kilometers. And when she's at C, she's at work. Then in the evening, she goes back home. And again, it's another 42 kilometers. Okay, so she'll be driving 42 kilometers plus in the morning, 42 in the evening when work is finished. So it's 84 kilometers. Now the question is, how much does she travel in 1 week? Now she does this 4 times each week. So it'll be 84 multiplied by 4. So 84 multiplied by 4 is 336 kilometers. Okay, let's have a look what you did there. You halved what you did. Let me just make sure I've done this right. The distance from A to C is 42. Aideen drives from A to C and then back to A. Yeah. So look, I mean, there is correct work here. You know, you multiplied by 4. So you would definitely get, if I was correcting this, out of 10 marks, you'd be getting 4 minimum out of 10, maybe 5 even. Okay, Brian drives from B to C and back to B. So let me rub out this bit. So Brian, let's give him a different color. Let's go with red. So Brian drives from B to C. So he's going from here to here and then back to B. Okay, so and then he comes back the ways. So it's like Aideen in the first one, except he's starting at B and finishing at B. Now he completes this journey how many times? 5 times each week. Overall, each week, Brian travels 14 kilometers more than Aideen. Okay, I suppose because he's traveling 5 times each week. Find the distance from A to B. So the distance from A to B. This is tricky enough. Let's have a look. Okay, so what I think this is a really difficult question, Nicole. I wouldn't be too bothered if someone didn't get this. Is like an ordinary level question. Um, I'll be using algebra to solve this. Okay, so he travels 14 kilometers more than Aideen. Now we know Aideen travels 336 kilometers. He travels 14 kilometers more in the week. So he travels a total of 360 kilometers. Now he does this journey from from home to work and back again. He does that 5 times. So 5 times 5 multiplied by, let's say, x. We don't know what x is. We don't know what the journey is, what distance it is. Okay, but if we divide both sides here by 5, we can figure out how much that journey is. So if we divide this side by 5 and this side by 5, so 5 into 5 goes once, so that cancels. You're just left with x is equals to, and 360 divided by 5 on the calculator is 72. So that tells us that if he goes from B to C and back all the way back, that is 72 kilometers. That total, it's a round journey. But we just want to know what's the distance. Let's try and find the distance between B and C. Let's try and find it because we'll have to divide that by 2. So 72, I'll do it here. 72 divided by 2 is equals to 36 kilometers. So that tells us, let me clean up here a little bit. So now I know the distance from B to C is 36 kilometers. Now we know the distance from A to B, sorry, A to C is already, so the question here is, so let's see, 36 kilometers. That's, I won't double underline it because it's not the final answer. That's the distance distance from B to C. But the question is, find the distance from A to B. So if the distance, so what we do is we basically subtract, like the difference between 42 and 36. When you subtract them, you get 6. Okay, so that's 6 kilometers there. So let's do that down here. So distance from A to B is equals to 42 minus 36, which is 6 kilometers, and that's your final answer. Tough question, Nicole. Very, very tough question. Okay. Won't be worrying too much about questions like that. There will be one or two like that on the paper, but they won't make or break you, you know. Just do your best with them. Okay, next question 4. A local supermarket had pundits of blackberries for sale. John counted the number of blackberries in each of the 19 pundits. The stem and leaf graph below shows the results. So pundit is like a little basket or whatever, a little box. So how many blueberries in each? What is the median of the data? So the median is going to be the middle one. So to get the median, you cross out the smallest number and the biggest number, then the next smallest and the next biggest, and so on until you get to the middle, and you're left with just one number. And that's it. That there is the median, 26. Well done. Okay, very good. So 5 out of 5 for that. What is the range of the data? That would be the biggest minus the smallest, and that's correct. Okay, so 5 out of 5 there, 5 out of 5 there. So 10 out of 10 for that. And I'll just clean up that for you. Okay, next question. The histogram shows how many people in a supermarket at a particular time. So histogram is like a bar chart, okay? Same thing. So complete this table. So between 10 and that is 60, 45, yeah. 20, yeah. 15, yeah, perfect. Okay. How many people were in the supermarket that morning? So you just have to add them all up. And that looks good. So 5 out of 5 there. Okay. What percentage of people spent 30 minutes or more? Give your answer correct to the nearest percent. So we're looking 30 minutes or more. So how many people? Well, we're talking about spent 30 minutes or more. So you're really talking about these guys. Oops. You're talking about these. They spend 30 minutes at least or and more. So 20, so add the 20 and the 15 together. So the 20 and the 15, how many people is that? That's 35 people spent 30 minutes or more. Put that over the 170 and multiply it by 100. Okay, I'll do this on a calculator here. That works out 20, what does it say, the nearest percent, so 21%. Now, while you haven't got the right answer, you've done a lot right here. You put it over 170, you multiplied it by 100, so you'd be getting 7 marks out of 10 for that. I see where you got your 45, okay? The 45, you took it from here. But the question was, what percentage of people spend 30 minutes or more? Okay, so we had to go for these guys here, okay? Right, next question. What is the maximum number of people who could have spent 25 minutes or less in the supermarket. So 25 minutes or less. Well, definitely these people, these 30 spent 25 minutes or less. These definitely spent 25 minutes or less. And I would even say here, it's possible that all 45 spent under 25 minutes here. Is it probable? Maybe not, but it is possible that they all were under 25. So we have to consider them. And they were asking us for the maximum number of people. You know, they were asking us for the maximum number of people who could have spent 25 minutes or less. So we have to consider all of those ones I've marked in the yellow. The 30, the 60, the 40. So 30 plus the 60 people plus the 45. And that gives us, let's add that up, 30 plus 60 plus 45, 135. Okay. Now, question 5. Rena wants to buy a new car. She intends to trade in her old car. She has found 3 different options, A, B, and C. Calculate what the new car will cost Rena for each of the following. Okay, so you know what I might do? I might just stop this video here and do a second one for this one, just to break it up a bit, okay?